probably some figures that we never thought about before. Go on and talk about it from that perspective.
Yeah, like I said before, the 5 countries, top the list of countries that send foreign students to the United States. Like I said, China is number 1, India 2nd, South Korea 3rd, Canada 4th, Taiwan 5th, Saudi Arabia 6th, Nigeria is 18th, like I said, with 7,000. Amongst the schools that have the largest number of foreign students, University of Southern California is number 1, with 8,000 students, almost 9,000. Then you have University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, with about 7,000 students. Then you have New York University. Then you have Purdue University, West Lafayette, Indiana. Then you have Columbia University in New York. These 5, top the list of most of the foreign students in the United States. In Tennessee, Vanderbilt, University of Tennessee in Knoxville, University of Memphis, East Tennessee State University, and Tennessee Technological University have the largest number, of foreign students in Tennessee. And like I said before, 4 or 5 countries produce most of the foreign students in Tennessee. China, India, Saudi Arabia, Malaysia, Taiwan, most of the students here. Tennessee State University has about 159 foreign students. UT and Vanderbilt, over 1,000, each. Last, this fiscal year, from what I saw, TSU alone pumped $610 million, into the economy.
Just foreign students alone from that?
No, just the whole university pumped about $610 million into the Tennessee economy. And out of that, about 5 million, really, is from foreign students, tuition and you name it, every other thing. So it's not insignificant.
Not at all.
Like most people think. Now, the states with the largest numbers of foreign students, California tops the list, it's number 1. New York comes next. Texas is 3rd. Massachusetts is 4th. And then Illinois is 5th. Then on Wyoming and Vermont has the smallest numbers, with about 1,000, in their states. And of course, because of the weather and
where they are located,
all that
very good
contributes to a lot of those things. And you can see that most of the students, foreign students, are concentrated in states, in states that have large urban areas, and it's no coincidence, because most of these universities are located near all,
large urban centers.
Large urban centers. So most of them are concentrated there. Now, with the HBCU universities, they have not done quite well in the number of foreign students. Howard University has the largest number of foreign students, with about 1,000 to 1,300, and the rest are very low. And I think one of the reasons is probably most of those schools have not been very aggressive, in recruiting foreign students. I know TSU did a very good job a few years ago when Dr. Hefner was president in aggressively pursuing foreign students and also building partnerships, with foreign universities. Now, there are about 250,000 American students studying abroad on what you call the foreign,
foreign exchange,
foreign exchange program. About 250,000.
About 250,000.
Exactly. Studying in foreign countries. Now, out of 25 countries, 13 are not, in Europe, of these countries where foreign students, students from the US go to study overseas. However, the first 4 countries that top the list where American students go to study are in Europe. England, Britain is number 1. Then you have France, Italy, Spain. Then after that, you have other countries, particularly in Asia, you know, South Korea and all these take over. In Africa, the only country really where most American foreign exchange students go to South Africa. So, it has the largest number, you know, for obvious reasons. Some of the universities in South Africa are quite probably the best on the continent of Africa, you know, like University of Cape Town, Witwatersrand University, Stellenbosch. These are viewed as Harvards, you know, of South Africa. So a lot of foreign students, you know, foreign exchange students from the US prefer to go to South Africa if they're going to Africa, you know, for foreign exchange. So these schools, these countries are where most of our students go to. Now, statistically or demographically, where do they come from? Of all the American students who are foreign exchange students, you know, study abroad students, 78% are white. Then about 6-point-some% Hispanic. Then about 4-point-something, you know, is African American. So you can see the disparity there in you know, the foreign exchange program. So I hope or wish, you know, that more Latinos and African American students, you know, will go you know, overseas to study. You know, at the same time build partnerships with some of these universities, particularly those in Africa, with HBC universities. You know. So what do they study? The foreign students who come here, the 3 different fields of study predominate their majors. Business and management, you know, number 1. I have computer sciences and math, and then you have engineering. These 3 top, you know, the academic pursuits here. Of the Americans who are on the study abroad program, it's kind of the reverse. Even though business also tops it, but then in the middle you have social sciences. You know, a lot of them go over there to study the culture of the people and, you know, all those things. So it's very important, you know, to...
Dr. Drew, let us take this second commercial break and then we'll get back. But that's the information that we're looking for. And we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break. Thank you and welcome back to the final segment of the show for today. The topic is the economic benefit of foreign or international students to the economy of the United States and especially the economy of Tennessee. And of course, Dr. LMadu has given us some very, very interesting information in reference to that. Let's continue our discussion, Dr. LMadu, in dealing with the numbers that you're dealing with here.
Yeah, like I said before, you have 250,000. So, you know, foreign exchange program, you know, students going overseas to study from the United States. That's a very large number. You know, that's the largest number really of any other country sending students abroad. Some people might say, well, it's a small number, but it's not. You know, even if you look at the statistics I gave you, China, you know, which has a population of almost over 1 billion people, yeah, has 100 and some thousand students sent to the United States. Then compared with about 250,000 American students
going
outside the country, even though they're not in one country. But, you know, And if you look at it statistically too, you find out that there are more Chinese students studying here than any other country in the world. There are more Indian students studying here than any other country in the world. So really this country attracts more foreign students than most other countries. So that's very important and significant. But like I said before, where I find some problems, in terms of our foreign exchange program from this country, is that it seems we are not encouraging more of what you call the so-called minority students to participate in these programs. Either because of economic reasons or because the administrations in those schools have not seen it fit, to pursue, these programs, or lack of information. Any of those factors, will play a significant role. But like I said earlier on, TSU did a very good job a few years ago in getting foreign students here and building partnerships with foreign universities. Vanderbilt has always done that. That's why I have more foreign students there. And like I said about the benefits, the more foreign students you have in, and the more exchange students you send out, the more the school benefits economically. Because a lot of these foreign students pay almost 2-3 times the school fees of,
Oh, so generally there's probably a different fee assessment in terms of foreign students. Would that be correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. In some schools, the foreign students pay 2 or 3 times what the average student from that state, the intuition, pays. So that's very important. That's why a lot of schools want them to come, because their school fees alone, balances the budget. A lot of the schools who are having some financial problems, even today, are those who've lost significant number of foreign students. Yeah, because, for example, after 9/11, with the attendant security crackdown, visas and all this, from 2002 to 2005, there's a significant drop the number of foreign students coming to the United States, particularly from the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Egypt. They found it harder, and also like countries in Africa, Nigeria and the rest, find it harder for students to get visas here. Within those 3 years, when all these security measures were being implemented. So as from 2006, 2007, it started rising up again. So right now, more foreign students are coming in than before, after 9/11. 9/11,
everything went down.
Everything went down. And so a lot of schools started having economic problems because they started losing, a whole lot of students that helped them balance their budget.
And so in real sense, you continue to say that, so it's just that much of an economic impact on these institutions themselves.
That's correct. Absolutely, absolutely. It has significant economic impact on those institutions themselves. The larger the number of foreign students, the more money, that comes into, the school. And like I said, add the expenses from the, dependents and all that. So it's a significant chunk of some schools, their budget. In fact, they might make up half of some schools' budget. Okay, for example, a school like University of Southern California that has about 8,000 foreign students. Now, add their school fees and all that, that's a whole chunk of that school's revenue. Remove those 8,000 students, there will be severe economic problems in that school. So a lot of schools started having problems between 2002, 2006 because of the slump.
Cut back on
in the students coming in here with visas and all that. So to a lot of people, they did not understand the need for foreign students, but when somebody explains these benefits to them, they realize what the role played by these schools in generating income for these schools where they are located. Now they have some benefits themselves too, So, but overall, the foreign students are not yet milking anybody. They are putting back as well as getting, like everybody else. So it's very important, to understand that role that they play here.
Now you say that perhaps if some of these historical black institutions of higher education start perhaps recruiting more aggressively for foreign students, that they might be able to really increase their own budgets. Is that what we're saying?
Absolutely. If they aggressively recruit, foreign students, particularly from Africa, that will undoubtedly increase the budget of their schools and in other ways and enrich the schools. Like I said before, FISC has about 25, foreign students.
And those foreign students really pay much more than the average student would pay for tuition, room, board, and everything else.
Absolutely. So that's a lot of money,
But do you find that any of these institutions have problems in perhaps charging? I know that some institutions charge what they call out-of-state fees for state institutions for students who live out of state. But do some of these institutions find any problems with charging all of these fees for these foreign students? I mean, is there no conscience kind of thing involved with it? Or they simply see it as a good piece of money?
Well, it's a good piece of money. They have to keep the school afloat. They have to pay their bills like everybody else, water and electricity and all that, and pay the workers. Yeah, so they have to make money somehow, while maintaining the institutions. So foreign students is one way that schools, make a lot of money now and balance their budgets. So if you withdraw a lot of students, now, for example, like I said, you have 25 foreign students at Fisk University. Also about 25 here, 25, 45. Remove 10 or 20 students from there, you have trouble. That's a whole
That's a couple of salaries of something.
That's correct. That's some salaries right there for some people that they might have to cut down, even shut down the International Student Office in order to balance the budget. Yeah. So people have to look at the contributions of foreign students to the economy here to understand that they're not coming here to get anything free, as people think. They are also contributing. And that $20.2 billion is a whole lot of money they contributed there. In terms of job creation, that's a lot of employment there for people, $20.2 billion. And some states right now cannot do without, that money being pumped in. And like I said, Tennessee is about 158 million benefit from there. Remove 158 million from the budget, that salary is for a whole lot of people.
Okay, Dr. Madu, of course, we're coming to the last last few seconds in this program, but I think that the information you've given really is eye-opening in a real sense, and I think that I'm almost sure that administrators have probably thought of that, and of course, we'll be back with our